Hello,
Hello.
and welcome to Planet Marzipan, the Fish and Marillion podcast. I'm Mezza, and here's my mate.
Craig Houston.
Hello, and welcome to Planet Marzipan.
Bonus episode.
Bonus, yes.
Oh.
A free one. Oh, they're all free.
All free.
I'm Mezza. I'm here with my good friend.
Craig.
Oh, that was good. That was nice.
Yes. Rehearsed after 106 episodes.
Okay.
Still can't get it right.
And we have returning for the second part of the Leicester Weekend, Steve Gutteridge.
Good evening.
Hi, Steve. Yeah. And he was conspicuous by his absence in the first episode, but we managed to track him down in some foreign land. Mr. Andrew Barnsley Wood.
He's back, everybody. He's back.
Currently on the run.
Exactly. No fixed abode.
Avoiding the Leicester police. But this bonus episode, we are here to talk in depth about all the tribute bands that played the weekend. Steve had the badge of honour and managed to see all the tribute bands that were on over that weekend. So that's why he's here in his capacity as the man who did meet the challenge. Mr. Barnsley Wood failed at the last hurdle, but we'll come on to that.
I'm sure we will.
So the weekend began on Friday evening at the International with Mr. Punch's first gig that Barnes and Steve were both at. So do you want to give us a brief overview? I don't know if the gigs sort of blended into one, but...
Shall I dive in, Steve?
Yeah, go.
Firstly, it was at a different venue to what we used to, one called the International. Correct me if I'm wrong, Steve. It used to be the International Arts Centre, or maybe still is, which is a much bigger and better venue than what we used to. Oh, say better, certainly bigger, but it was better as well. So we weren't at the Musician this year. We were at the International, and the sound was good. There's plenty of space in there. It was full, practically sold out on the Friday. I don't know if it was sold out, but it was certainly very full. And the band were on top form, I would say. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, absolutely. It was good. I thought it was quite a nice venue, quite a wide stage, certainly much better than the old Musician. No doubt about that. But yeah, it was full. It was hot in there.
Very hot, I've heard, but that's another story.
Whoa. Stop it. Play nice.
And I think if I remember correctly, it was the night they played. They played Grendel. I remember that, and then they played the whole of. Did they play Grendel? Or maybe I didn't.
They did. Yeah.
I thought they did.
They did, but they started off with Emerald Lives and Script for Just a Cheer. Ultimately, they did play the whole of Misplaced Childhood.
That's correct. Yeah, that's how I remember it. In between dashing to the bar and chatting to everybody and trying to tell everyone to shush near the bar.
So the set list, as Steve says, was the intro to Emerald Lies, into Script, Cinderella Search, then all of Misplaced. Set 2 was Incubus, Sugar Mice, Grendel, The Last Straw, Fugazi, Forgotten Sons, and the encore with Freaks, Garden Party, and the Mighty Market Square Heroes.
Yeah.
Sounds like a hot and sweaty one.
Yeah, and if I can, I'm sort of repeating what you said last week, but if I may, I think if I was describing them in a different way to different tribute bands, they seem to bring a new energy to the songs. They're very, I wouldn't say raw, because that's the wrong way to say it, but they're very upbeat. And if the song was at 9, they sort of elevate it to 11. They seem to be very good at doing that.
I think that's definitely a fair comment. A lot of energy in the room, a lot of jumping around the stage. Singer Marco's wearing face paint, a bit of theatrics in there as well. It was a good party sound kind of atmosphere sort of thing.
Am I right in saying that Marco's got long hair that he sort of whips back and forward? Is that right?
Yeah, there's lots of
Yeah.
that going off, and standing on the speaker and sort of essentially doing the, I was going to say gladioli thing, but what's the flower he has when Fish does it on the songs? There's all that going off, and he's sort of putting the mask on people, and it's all that sort of action. So
Right.
it's the real deal, and I think also in the sounds there as well. The girl on lead guitar, she's great. They're all great, but they really bring some energy to even the most passive songs for somehow, you know. So that would be the USP, I would say.
Any rubber
My-
plants
my sounds
involved?
great.
Rubber plants, the word I'm looking for. I didn't see any rubber plants on Friday night. I have
Right.
seen them in the past, so it's wouldn't be unheard of to see a rubber plant.
Okay.
And the Grendel mask came out, obviously, so that was that's good.
Cool. Okay. And they played on Saturday and Sunday as well. So
Indeed.
the Saturday was a lunchtime gig at 12 o'clock. Which
Yeah.
Steve, were you at that?
Yeah, I was like that. Yeah, that was my second.
And Barnes, did you make it back there?
of the week?
No, I didn't. I'm trying to remember. Oh, I was meeting one of our friends who's had a knee operation that he's not bored everyone to death with. We had to meet him off the train.
Yeah. Had we mentioned that at all? Because who had a poorly knee?
Anyone who's bumped into Colin will have no doubt heard about his knee endlessly. So we had to make sure the old guy got off the train all right. So sadly, we missed Mr. Punch. The plan was to go down there, but Steve was there in my place. Let's say that.
Okay. So Steve Austin Smith, you were
Something like
his bionic knee. Yes.
If only you didn't mention that all weekend.
It didn't. No, Barnes did, but he didn't. Yeah. Steve, that was the Saturday gig.
It was great, just as good as the first one. Basically played all of Fugazi on the Saturday. Straight in there with the sassing straight at the beginning, right through to Incubus and Sugar Mice on the end for the end of the first set. It was real rocker.
And they wheeled Grendel out again.
They do play Grendel a lot. But the crowd seem to love it. I mean,
Yeah.
you can win it twice in a night, but twice in a row is not too bad.
And your first script of the weekend, wasn't it?
Script for Justice here? Yes, that was no, because they played it on set. They
Did they
played
play on Friday?
two on the Friday, yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, apologies, I've read that out. Haven't I? Your second script of the week.
Is your memory going there, Mister?
Sorry, I'm old. Yeah.
Just wait till you start explaining who Glass Satellites are in a minute.
Yes, you're gonna have to remind me. Yes. I'll get my excuse in early for that. So the second set, on the Saturday was Grendel script, Chelsea Monday, Hotel Hobbies, Warm Wet Circles that time of the night, The Last Straw and Fugazi, and they encore with Easter.
Yeah,
How was
I
that?
don't think I've heard them play Easter before.
I wasn't aware that
it's
they
ve-
did. Yeah.
It's very unusual for Mr. Punch to play anything at all from H area.
Yeah.
I think that's the first time I've heard them. I mean, they do some other stuff. I've heard them play a bit of Genesis every now and again, and in the encore they played a bit of Black Sabbath as well.
Well, finished with War Pigs.
Yeah, apparently.
Wow.
I have to say I did have to leave just before that in order to run across town to get to StillMarillion.
Okay.
So there was a bit of an overlap, and they overran a little bit there.
Yeah, fair enough. Wow. It still sounds like a great set.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Greg's Mr. Punch have got quite a lot coming up, haven't they?
They have, and it's all international. And I'm on my knees here, praying that these pronunciations are
You volunteered for this one.
Yes. So I could only really apologise for my absolute bastardisation of any.
Just before he starts, listeners, can I just remind you of our email address? It's planetmarzipanpodcast@gmail.com. And if you could address your emails to Faye, please.
Because he can't read shit out.
Go on.
Yeah,
What have we got coming up?
What they have coming up this weekend. So this episode's going out on the Friday. So this weekend they are playing in Reichenbach im Vogtland in Germany.
How do you pronounce that?
Badly.
Have you been signed off work with a Reichenbach? Is that?
Yeah. Isn't that where Sherlock Holmes fell with Moriarty?
You can get a cream for that these days, I think.
You can, yeah.
And on the On the 12th of July, they're in Rock Fabric in Übach-Palenberg in Germany. On the 13th of July, Studio Canal 10 in Hortridge in Belgium. And on the 20th of September, they're in Zoetermeer in the Netherlands at Popodium, Borderai.
Sounds like a hello, this.
Listen very carefully, I should say that we went.
Good morning.
The British Airmen are hiding under John's bed at the minute. You stupid bugger. Okay, on the 26th of July, Mary Spot in Porto in Portugal. 27th of September, Patio do Sol in Lisbon in Portugal. On the 10th of October, Cubana in Seeburg in Germany, which is a double gig ticket. So they must be playing 2 gigs same day. Be interesting. And then into October, on the 11th, the Die Kakofabrik in Helmond in the Netherlands. Sorry, listeners, John's pissing himself off here. On the 12th of the 10th, Mainz Frei Blues Club in Bremen in Germany.
What did you volunteer to this?
I did.
You know?
Shits and giggles. It's all right. The rest of the band's toured into mainly England, so it's not so bad. On into November.
Still going.
3 more, then I'm done. In the 14th of November, the Spirit of 66 in Verviers in Belgium. 15th of the 11th, Alt E-Work in Niesden in Germany. 16th of the 11th, Café de Heerberg in Omenen in the Netherlands. And I apologise for all that. John, you could take your fist out of your mouth now.
It's also worth saying
Oh dear. Sorry, listeners. Apologies if you're in Europe, because I don't know what the hell that was.
They are coming back to England as well. They're coming back to England in April next year, 2026.
Right.
They're going to be playing London, Leicester, and Southampton.
Oh, cool. Okay.
He gets the easy ones.
Yes, well, you know, he just mops up after you, comes in after you, gets the easy one.
They do tour the UK quite a lot. At least once a year they come over here, generally from Italy. Yeah.
Very good. Cool. Well, I'm just looking at their Sunday set list as well, so it's kind of a mixture of the two, really. Sunday.
Clutching at straws. Sunday. Is it all of it? It was supposed to be. Perhaps
I think so. Hang on. Oh, no. Torch song, is there?
You'll be cutting and pasting this bit, Craig, when the time comes.
Yeah, I'll be cutting and pasting this bit.
It's his own fault. It's gonna be a 5-minute episode. All of this will go. Yeah, they didn't play for some reason. They didn't play Torch song. A big bulk of clutching, and Easter got another outing again, and the encore was Easter Garden Party, Market Square Heroes again.
We actually caught up with 3 members of Mr. Punch this week for a quick chat. So over to me and John.
Okay, well, Craig and I are here with Marcella, Marco, and Luca from Mr. Punch. Good evening, guys.
Good evening. Hi.
Good evening. Hi, everyone.
Good evening. Good evening. Great to speak to you. It's now just over a week since the Leicester weekend. So you played 3 gigs in Leicester over that weekend.
Yeah.
How was it for you guys?
Well, for me, Leicester is very special in the way that was one of my very first travels with Mr. Punch back in 2019. I was very ill in 2019 when we played the musician, but we managed to go through the 3 gigs because we every time we are in Leicester for the Marillion weekend we play 3 gigs usually.
Yeah,
I mean,
Pay also, and the next time we will do 3 gigs.
Yeah, I hope so too. And this time was a bigger venue because the last time was the musician, which is smaller.
narrow into the musician, and that's
Yeah,
the internationals are much bigger, almost a square room, isn't it?
it is. Yeah, but the people are, I mean, the people managing the venue, the owner of the venue. I'm not sure of the owner because Danny is not
I
the
think
owner.
Danny's the promoter.
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 Danny's the promoter. Yeah.
But anyway, the people involved are always the same, and it felt like being at home and in the same comfort, as we've always been there.
Yeah. And your gigs were themed this year, weren't they? I think was it Misplaced on the first night, Fugazi on the second gig,
Yes.
and
Right.
Clutching at Straws on the third gig.
Not a whole album, some songs from Clutching.
Yes, yeah. Most of Clutching was
It's only a name for the gig. It's
I see you pulled Grendel out a couple
from
of times over
every
the
album. Yeah,
We didn't
for the Sunday gig, it's something from every album.
I did. John, did you ask about Grendel?
Yeah,
You said something about Grendel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we it's Zoom meeting. Yeah, it's always a little bit tricky. And now, yeah, we left off Grendel. When was it, Marcella, Luca, that we didn't play Grendel?
No, we play Grendel every night.
No,
3 days, yes.
Every
days.
big night. No, it's not night.
It's a good end to the
Yeah.
set, wasn't it?
Every gig with the Grendel.
I understand Mr. Punch have been going for 10 years this year.
10 years.
Yeah, almost 10 years. But there were different persons, so
Yes, yeah.
we could do a party.
Any
I
of
am
you
the
guys?
guy.
Any of you guys done the whole 10?
Hmm?
Any of you
Only
guys done the
Marcella.
whole 10 years?
Just me, only me.
Wow.
Marcella. It should be
Just
called
Marcella.
Mrs. Punch, not Mr. Punch.
Judy, I'm Judy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think the first date that's on the website is it was the 13th of June, so you're looking at only a week away for it being 10 years.
Yeah. We're only a week away. Yeah, we should
Yeah.
celebrate it
You should celebrate, yeah.
somehow.
Yes.
I think
they
we
have-
didn't
Yeah.
we didn't plan anything or discuss anything about it, but it's definitely something to be done.
Next year.
Yes. Not quite 10 years, yeah.
Just to be different. We
Marcella, when did you get into the band? When did you get into Marillion?
when I was a kid, I bought a tape of strip of from strips of Justin Sears in a market in a Christmas market in Italy because I loved the picture.
Wow.
I didn't know that. I think I was 12 years old. Yeah.
Brilliant. And I mean, you're an incredible guitarist. I haven't been lucky enough to see you in the flesh yet. I've got friends who went to gigs and were amazed by what you did. I've seen some video of you playing as well. Incredible, and the likeness that you've got to Steve's playing as well is just phenomenal.
Oh, thank you. Maybe it's really close to me, that mood.
Yeah. And then Marco, how long have you been with the band now?
It's a lot.
2019, is that?
Yeah, so it's 6 years.
Yeah.
We can celebrate the 6 years.
Well, before joining the band, I wasn't really aware of all this Marillion. I mean, mania. All these. It really surprised me because I've been listening to Marillion since I was a kid. Well, maybe not a kid, but like a young teenager.
Yeah.
But really, it surprised me a lot when they called me to and when they asked me to join, and it was a very nice surprise to me.
Were you singing in a band before this?
Yeah, I was in a Genesis tribute band.
Oh, which one?
Called The Cage from
yeah.
Italy.
Yeah.
and there was I had a sort of how can I say it? A sort of gradual passage from the cage to Mr. Punch.
Yeah.
In a way, I also am like some of the other guys in the band. I also have another band currently doing original stuff.
Okay. What are they called?
Golem.
Gollum. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
You want to plug? Is there a website or anything where folks can hear that?
Yeah, we have we don't really have a website. We have Instagram, Facebook, and you can follow us on those. But we are about to produce something with Mr. Punch, of course. Marcella can tell you about it.
Okay, go for it. Yeah.
We are almost in vacation in June because we are working on our single, and we want to create a video clip and try to do it in a very professional mood. And so I think we will do we'll try to check everything we can do for promote it.
And is this an original songs?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
And is that recorded now, or are you working on that at the moment?
We are working. We have 3 original songs.
Yeah.
But just a demo. Maybe the new one will be more will be better than the 3 than the previous we did.
But we'd love to promote that when it's ready. We'd love to promote that and get that out there for you as well. So that would be great. Luca, what's your background with Marillion then? How did you get into the band?
We played together.
Joined the Marillion since I listened Marillion since I was 6 years old.
Wow.
In '86. Yeah, I discovered Marillion with Misplaced Childhood.
Yeah.
And my cousin made me a tape cassette from the vinyl, and I consumed this cassette. Yeah, since then I was a fan of Marillion since now.
Yeah, and
all the stuff, Fish and Hogarth, for me is.
And you played. You guys played. Was it before the Padua weekend that you played?
Yes, the first day, the day before.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful. It seems not to be in Italy. It seems not to be in
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
And the other guys in the band, we've got the other Marco on drums, is that right?
No,
yeah.
He's working.
No,
he has he did a lesson with kids this night for the end of the year show of the school.
Okay. And sorry, what's the keyboard player's name?
It's Felicia, the official one.
Yeah.
But she is working now because she plays every evening.
Yeah.
She usually plays piano, and she's working with piano now. And the other one is Luca, but Luca is will play with us when Alicia cannot.
Right. Yeah. And you've got some gigs as we're recording today. You've got some gigs this weekend, haven't you?
No.
Was it next week?
No, the next will be in July.
Oh, I see. Beg your pardon.
We will work on original songs on our single.
Yeah. We are focusing on writing songs. We have got like 1 month. In 1 month, more or less, we will be back on the road. We will be in Germany and in Belgium on the 12th of July.
Yes, we have to stop and take some time to
the 13th
to do original stuff.
Yeah, we are on the 12th of July, which is a Saturday. We are at the Rock Fabrik in Ubach, Pallenberg. This is one of the trickiest.
I think that pronunciation will be better than Craig's. I've heard Craig's. That's far better than it. Yeah.
Anything's better than my pronunciation. I tell you.
We're going to leave Craig's in the episode as well because you'll find it very funny.
You know, we only have one polyglot person in the band, which is not here. Who is not here now? It's Marco on
drummer.
Marco Fabri, the drummer. He speaks German,
Does he?
French. Yeah.
And I was reading in the bio, was Marco in the Watch for a period of time as well? The Genesis.
Yes, he was.
Oh
Yes, he
wow.
was.
17 years in the Watch. Yeah.
Was he?
17
Yes,
years.
17. Yeah.
I've seen him with the Watch.
17
Then.
years.
I saw the Watch about 10 years ago, so I've seen him. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got quite a strong Genesis connection then with two.
Next year in October, we will play in German in Unna, the 24th in October, and the Watch will play the day before, the 23rd.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you're right.
Brilliant. So I understand from talking to Lucy, we had Lucy on in the first half of our episode, and she's confirmed that Marillion have already booked Leicester de Montfort for 2027.
Wow.
Okay.
So I presume you'll be talking to Danny then again.
This is such good news.
Yes, we can start now to organize our Marillion weekend.
I think the Friday night gig really just sets off the weekend. Your gig kicks the whole thing off now, doesn't it?
Sorry?
Yeah.
Do you ever get down to see Marillion?
Ooh, no. Everything sold out. Is
I think the only person who
I will
saw
find
Marillion in the past is Luca. Luca, you are the only one who saw a Marillion concert. I've seen a Marillion concert before in the band. I think I've never seen them live. Marcella.
I saw Rotary many times, Rotary band, but not Marillion. The Rotary band.
I see Marillion in. I saw Marillion in the Sound That Can Be Made tour.
The tour.
Yeah.
2 times.
Yeah. Brilliant.
I saw the Rotary band about 4 or 5 times. Also, the 16. No, in during his birthday, we did. He played in close to Padua. In 2016, there was a birthday party during the gig.
2016.
What do you think? How do you sum up your approach? Because yours is a very sort of this sounds detrimental to the other bands. I don't mean this to be detrimental, but yours is a very energetic performance. It's very, Marco, you've got long hair and you're whipping your hair backwards and forwards, and you do the face paint as well, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think we are very. I mean, as far as I can, as I'm concerned, at least, I don't fake anything. I mean, I don't pretend to be any other person's but myself, and I'm very lucky in being close to fish with as far as my voice goes.
Yeah.
And the energy on stage. I think we are all having a lot of fun when we do a gig. All of us.
Yeah.
We are having fun.
I think because after 14 hours traveling, we need to joke with us.
Yeah. And you feed off the audience reaction, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. If we have fun, they must have fun.
Yeah.
I think.
Definitely.
If they have energy, we have much more energy. So it's something that works together.
And is there anywhere else that you play consecutive nights? Would you do, say, 2 shows over 2 days in another venue somewhere else in the world?
In Germany, we do the Christmas party.
Yeah.
Oh. For the web, is that?
No, it's in the venue is Mezza, and we play the Christmas party usually the first weekend in December.
Yeah.
That's in Reichenbach. It's Yeah, it's Eastern Germany.
Wow, fantastic.
It's a place we've been to for several years, and multiple times a year. The person running this place is almost like a friend. But no, I think that's the only case that we do consecutive gigs apart from Leicester.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the only one.
And does that mean that Leicester's a lot of work then? You've got to sort of brush up on some things that you don't play very often for Leicester.
Definitely, because we
Yeah.
we are always up to, yeah, as you said, a lot of many minutes of catalog, of Marillion
Yeah.
catalog. And the poor Luca, the poor Luca this time he had to
The keyboard player, not me.
not Luca Cristoforo, yeah,
Luca,
the keyboard player.
Not me.
He had to
Not
learn
Luca.
it.
He had to learn it, yeah.
He studied
Yeah.
everything in a very few time.
Yeah, very little time to
Little time.
It's a
prepare
lot
to
of
rehearse.
It's a lot of material to learn in a short period of time for
It is,
quite
yeah.
And we never do rehearsals, you know.
Wow.
No, with Luca, no.
Is
We
there
never do
anything?
rehearsals?
Is there anything? Any songs from the Fish era that you've never done live?
Any songs from the well, I think Marcella, vuoi dirlo tu? We wanted to
Which song of Fish would never played?
we never played.
Just
Have you done sort of Lady Nina?
Lady
Yeah,
Yeah, the B-side.
Margaret.
Yeah, something from the B-side.
You haven't done Margaret?
I'd like to play Margaret.
Yeah, Margaret would be great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've never done that one. We never done Taxon. We've never done Lady Nina.
Just for the record.
Yeah, the B-sides.
Taxon.
The B-sides for
We never-
sure.
Well, just for the records, you could add that to your clutching set list, couldn't you? Because that's from the album. Yeah.
Mm.
In Clutching, we have never did a torch song.
Torch song wasn't in your set list. Yeah, we not played that before. No.
No. And just for the record, no.
And we've never done
Nothing.
with Luca Cristoforo, because you know we got Luca Cristoforo on the bass,
Yeah.
Luca Schierani on the keyboards, and Marco Fabbri on the drums, and Marco Vincini on vocals. He's always a mess.
He's Aurelio.
Yeah, all Luca and Marco. Yeah.
Marco Vincini is Aurelio. Luca Cristoforo is me wonderful. That's
Well, that's fantastic. Look, it sounds like you had a great weekend, and I know everybody that came to see you really enjoyed it. Are you back in the UK at all before? Have you got anything else arranged for the UK?
in April. The next.
In April next year. Yeah.
Yes, the weekend in the middle. 18.
Yeah.
April,
14th. Yeah.
18, April 18.
18.
Next year.
18, 19. Yeah.
In Leicester.
Yes, and 17 in Law.
Leicester, Underwood in Camden. Yeah. And
Oh, brilliant. Okay.
1865 in Southampton.
Yes.
All right. So 3
Yeah,
gigs.
we have-
is it?
April 17 in at the Underworld in London, the 18th in Leicester, and on the 19th at the 1865
In
Southampton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But look, we urge folks to go and see you, and
Yeah,
if
get
we can,
along.
we'll be back in Leicester to see you. But it's really great to speak to you today. More power to you. You're doing a fantastic job.
Thank
I'll
you.
speak to you again when you've got that music recorded, if that's okay. Come back
Yeah,
to the
of course.
podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course. It's not gonna take long. It's not going to take long.
Well, good luck with it, and good luck with the touring for the rest of the year as well.
Yes, we'll let you update about this single.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
please do. Please do.
Definitely.
All
Thank
right.
you guys.
Speak
Thank
to
you
you.
so much.
Cheers,
Thank
guys.
you.
So much.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Take
Bye.
care.
So that's Mr. Punch's weekend. On the Saturday and the Sunday afternoon, StillMarillion played at the Y Theatre.
We were at them ones.
And we were at those ones, but so were these boys. So
Indeed, we were.
Steve, how was it going from Mr. Punch to StillMarillion?
Well, for one, I had to run across town because Mr. Punch did go on a little bit late.
Yeah.
So I did miss about the first 10 minutes of StillMarillion or so.
Did you?
It was interesting to see one back to back right to the other against the other. As we said earlier, Mr. Punch with a really high energy on stage these days, and I think again more so. StillMarillion is always a little bit more laid back and chilled than that, I think. So there's quite a contrast going from one to the other. I mean, I love StillMarillion; they're fantastic musicians.
I think their production values are a little bit higher. Would that be fair to say? I mean, obviously the band's going to jump in a minute because he's responsible for some of this, but
I would say very much sound wise as well. It's more of a show. They're very well polished, very good. They look good on stage, as in their stage presence and things like that, and they can all play very, very well. So I think they're the sort of creme de la creme. Really, I think we've all would agree that really. It's a high end sort of version of a tribute band. Really, it's not even a tribute band anymore. They're a band in their own rights, as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, I spoke to you about this over the weekend, but because you've done some work on their screen media, and it looks fantastic, Barnes, I have to say.
Yeah, thank you. Do you want me to talk you a little bit through it? Do you want to?
Yeah, please. Yeah,
go for it. Yeah. So the general story, as I remember, it was round about Christmas. Stuart, the keyboard player or guitar player, put a call out so that would anyone be interested in helping us with our stage graphics and things like that. And I volunteered. By the time I'd volunteered, about 8 people had already volunteered. Anyway, I volunteered to do it, and I think he got 3. I don't know. He said, let's say half a dozen responses. And the plan was, I said, well, why don't we get all 6 people together and we'll just sort of spread the work out and do it like that. Anyway, the reality was, what really happened was myself and a Scottish chap called Chuck, who sort of picked up the mantle, really. So we've sort of got a little WhatsApp group with Stuart. And through January, we sort of, first of all, said, what shall we do? And then we said, let's get stuck into it. And then Stuart says, it would be great if you can have it done by the end of January. All right. Because they had a show in, I'm going to get it wrong, somewhere up in Scotland. I'm not even going to guess where it was, but somewhere where they did it in a theatre, like a seated gig in a theatre, right at the start of the year.
They look lovely, yeah.
So we aimed for that. They sort of shared the set list with me and Chuck, and also quite a fair bit of the stuff was done by Stuart. Actually, in some ways, some of the better stuff, in my opinion, all the sort of Muppets thing at the start, that was all done by Stuart.
Yeah.
And without giving it all away, the A-Team thing was done by Stuart, and a few other little bits of things. And then Chuck dove in, and I dove in as well. And I think they got enough to fill the show, the show that they did in Scotland. Since then, until this week, we've not done any further stuff. So there were times when it ran out, we ran out of stuff, or I'd recycled it on the day, but that's fine. And then in other news, it's not quite as simplistic as it may seem, because on a proper production, you've got everyone's got click tracks in, and it's all the the visuals you're fired from the sound desk and all that sort of stuff. Whereas what we've decided upon, I say we, the royal we, particularly Stuart, was we'll have like a start, a middle, and an end. And at one bit, Martin had the pedal, like a MIDI pedal, that he would stamp his foot on this MIDI pedal and it would change the images. And I think they tried that a couple of times, and by the sound of it, I think Stuart took over. Maybe I've got that wrong, but you can ask them, I guess, about that. So they generally fire it at 2 or 3 points during the song, so it sort of hits a beat. And that's that, really. I think if you're watching it critically, which you tend to do on these occasions, there were a few of the wrong images were with the wrong song or wrong part of the song. Does that matter? I don't know. I don't think it really matters.
It didn't matter. They were really striking images, some of them. I mean,
yeah.
Maybe one in particular was definitely in the wrong place, but it was striking nevertheless,
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we're happy with what we did. I mean, obviously, you then become self-critical. So I've been working on some new stuff now. So just did Jigsaw yesterday. I think that's the best one we've done. Yeah. So that'll be reeled out somewhere. And I did Punch and Judy on whatever date it is today, 2 days ago. I think that's looking good. And then today I've been starting on Cinderella Search. So at some point they'll find their way into the set. And I think the general ambition is once we get the set full, we'll sort of pull out I don't want to say shit ones, but the less good ones and replace them with better ones. That's the sort of game that we've got in mind. And it's just a little hobby that myself and Chuck and Stuart seem to be just getting embroiled in really for our chat group.
I think, as you said, the StillMarillion guys are musically at a level, but I think with that backdrop, it just takes it up again.
Yeah, I think the one for the web, I don't know if anyone saw it, the one for the web looked really, really good. You know, I don't remember, just very simple. It's a web, raining outside the window, and there's a candle. The more simplistic ones seem to work better. So, you know, what we've learned, we'll do it slightly different next time and maybe simplify it and a bit more design and style into it and a bit less doing it at pace. Might come into it. But there you go, that's that.
Craig, how did you find the Saturday gig, Craig?
I absolutely loved it, and you know I'm a massive, big StillMarillion fan, and I love the chemistry on stage and the camaraderie and the crack and they look like they're having so much fun on stage, and the audience go with them, and I just think they're top notch. Always have done.
Yeah, Steve, how was your Saturday gig?
Yeah, I thought they're great. Whole of Misplaced Childhood again. Can't hear it too often, can you?
No.
Script for Jester's Tear again.
I was there. Script for Jester's Tear isn't on Misplaced Childhood, though, Steve.
No. Just to qualify that, that's a separate comment.
But you did get both in the same set there, didn't you?
I did, yeah. Well, I mean, let's face it, they've only got 4 albums. In how many? In 2 hours, you're going to get through most of them, aren't you?
Well, they have, but StillMarillion branched out, as we'll come on to when we look at their Sunday gig. But yeah, indeed. Saturday's set list was Assassin, He Knows You Know, Script for Jester's Tear, Lady Nina, which was different, Chelsea Monday, Whole of Misplaced, The Web, Last Straw, Garden Party, and Market Square Heroes.
Just a thing, if I can interrupt, John, I thought the graphics thing for Chelsea Monday was probably the best. That's
amazing.
What Chuck did. Chuck did that one. So you know, it's quite funny because he's going, well, how does this work then, Barnes? We've sort of taught each other a bit of stuff, so we've used it as a bit of a learning curve. Anyway, he did that one, so it's, you know, credit to him. I think it's probably the strongest of the lot, really. That one, it worked really well.
It's a really striking image of the girl in the water.
Yeah, the girl in the water, it looked great, didn't it? Yeah. So I think you know that's the game really. We're trying to get them all up to that spec, I think.
Okay. And then the Sunday afternoon, we were lucky enough to see the sound check on the Sunday, and coming up immediately after we review this bit is our chat with the band. So we bought some microphones since last time we tried to interview them, so hopefully it'll be a bit more audible. But we had a really good chat with the guys, as you'll hear very shortly. But the Sunday set list was...
Whoa.
Oh, sorry. What's up?
We appear to have missed Duffy's Irish Bar, which is always a classic on Saturday night. Does that count as a tribute night?
But you can chuck that in at the end, mate, all right? And along with Kebab Watch, which I know you're desperate to throw in as well.
I am, it's true.
I know. We'll catch up. Shenanigans will be in this podcast, all right, shortly.
Excellent.
Back to StillMarillion on Sunday. Hotel Hobbies, Warm Wet Circles, That Time of the Night, Jigsaw, Cinderella Search, Torch Song, Emerald Lies, and then, as we talked about on the previous pod, Beaujolais Day into Season's End.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, did anyone spot the join? Because 1 minute I was listening to Beaujolais Day, the next minute I'm listening to Season's End, and I didn't spot where they went.
It was the start of the guitar solo.
Yeah, well, that was good.
We saw it twice, so that's why we know. Yeah. And then after that, we got Runaway and Incubus, Sugar Mice, Cliche, Incommunicado, and then A Gentleman's Excuse Me.
Brilliant.
Well, yeah, 2 Fish solo tracks there, Cliche and Gentleman's Excuse Me.
Yeah.
Both really, really good.
They were.
Really good. Yeah.
I mean, Stuart and Martin do Gentleman's Excuse Me just as a duo, don't they?
Piano and vocal.
But it was great to see Mark doing those Cliche solos at the end as well.
I think also, I mean, maybe it's a top secret, so you can maybe chop this out, but I think it's sort of now that Fish has retired, I think they've got a bit more latitude to play these as well off Vigil. I think it's open the gate a little bit, you know.
Oh, yeah.
you know.
And the last song of the day was Fugazi for StillMarillion.
Mention you skipped over it quite quickly there, but Runaway and Brave. Now there's a song you don't hear tribute bands play.
No.
I thought that was pretty amazing. I love that.
It was great.
Martin loves singing it as well.
He does, but and he's done it with the Rothery band as well, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yes, he has. Yeah.
But
I think it was one that. Am I right in saying it's one that Steve Rothery said? You know, if you'd like to sing a song, what would it be? And I think he said "Runaway." Is that right? Is that the story?
Yeah, definitely. Cool. But yeah, another great gig. And we want to just personally thank anybody who bought their Planet Marzipan merch on Saturday or Sunday, because you helped us make a donation to charity as well. So thank you for that, and thank you to Merchy Mike for sorting it out.
Have you discussed the T-shirts as well? Because I thought they were worth a discussion. Should we discuss that?
Go for it.
Now you probably know the name of the girl who did the
I don't,
design.
that's why I've not said it. It's
right. Well, I think it's another Dutch pronunciation. So maybe Faye can pronounce.
I shall run away from this.
But she's done a few things in the past, and I think anyway she either donated or they asked her to do that image, which then became the front of the T-shirt. And I thought it was the best bit of merch all weekend in the nicest way.
Well, the T-shirt was a rainbow and a magpie, wasn't it?
Rainbow and a magpie. That's right.
Yeah, I thought that was gorgeous.
It is. I don't know. It says Marge Original on the bottom, so I can't tell you what the lady's name is. Apologies, we will put this in the text at the end. Thanks for throwing us under the bus, Barnes.
Quite all right. It was a pleasure.
Well, a couple of gigs. We were lucky enough to see the StillMarillion boys at De Montfort at the Marillion gigs as well, and caught up with them. But it seems like they had a great weekend.
And I think it's time now for us to hand over to John and Craig, and have a little bit of a chat with the StillMarillion boys backstage on the Sunday afternoon.
Okay, well, we're back in the Y, and we'll have a slightly more audible interview with StillMarillion than we did last year, and that wasn't their fault, that was our fault.
Whose fault?
My fault.
Your fault.
All right, my department. But we're currently in the backstage area at the Y. It's Sunday lunchtime, so we're with Martin and Barry at the minute. The guys will just be in and out as we're talking, I'm sure, because it's their dressing room and we're just guests.
Not at all. You're welcome.
But how was yesterday afternoon's gig for you? We're here with Martin and Barry, as I said.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Atmosphere was incredible. I think everybody would agree that it was brutally warm.
It was, yeah.
In the room. There's just no air whatsoever, and I appreciate that's difficult for people, because I know what I'm like when it's too hot. But it didn't seem to didn't dampen the enthusiasm for people. It was really nice. It was an emotional one for me.
It was
in terms of what had happened 2 years ago and having to leave suddenly and go home. So it was nice to kind of exercise that ghost yesterday. And I think the set that we played yesterday was a good set. It's kind of the touring set that we've been doing this year with the Misplaced Childhood stuff in it, with a couple of tweaks on it, and the feedback from it's been really great.
Yeah. Well, tickets.
It's been really good.
The amount of people that are like still trying to get tickets for your show. It's
bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah,
really bizarre. Yeah, people stopping me in the street just coming across here this morning saying, "I don't suppose there's any chance of any tickets for today." You know, I thought, yeah, because I'm carrying them around.
I think what we should do next time is just have a word with Marillion and just swap venues.
I'm thinking of doing a kind of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory thing next time. Where, we'll put them in chocolate balls. And I've got a golden ticket.
Good idea. Well, sure, Mr. Barton will sort that out.
Probably. Yeah. He's probably already working on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lovely problem to have. But it's obviously the same. It's disappointing that some people that would have liked to come and see us haven't had the opportunity. But that's just the nature of how it went.
Well, you are on tour, so they can come and see you.
Yeah. We have plenty of other gigs still to come later. The rest of the year. I'm still working on trying to get a couple other bits and pieces tied up. Well, like I said probably previously, this year we had to kind of be careful with gig planning from the perspective that because there's so much fish and Marillion activity going on, and with the best will in the world, it would be pretty stupid of us to be scheduling gigs, when Fish was on his farewell tour, and when Marillion are doing one of the weekends.
But after this weekend, essentially, it's open season, isn't it?
Yeah, as we head into the summer.
The summer
summer in inverted commas, and we've got we've got a couple of bits and pieces. There's a little bit of a gap after the European shows in mid-June, and then that's us through until early August. So there's a bit of a gap then.
Whereabouts are you going to in Europe?
We've got Siegburg in Germany on Friday. Is it the 12th of June? I think maybe, or 13th. It's whatever Friday it is. And then on the Saturday we're at the De Poel in Uden in the Netherlands, which is a fabulous venue. And
these are big venues, aren't they?
Well, the Uden venue, I don't know what happened this year, but that gig has been sold out for quite a long time. And that's something like 500-600 people.
Really?
That one. Siegburg's a smaller kind of club size venue. It holds about 300 people, but it's a great place to go and play, and the audience there are
crazy,
bonkers.
Is it?
Absolutely bonkers.
Absolutely crazy. It's brilliant. It sounds brilliant.
In the nicest possible way.
Yeah, good crazy, yeah.
Really, really.
Do you have any links with the Web Germany? Are they sort of?
Well, we've got good friends in the Web Germany. They're not directly involved in terms of organising gigs.
Our first gig over there was for their anniversary.
It was the Web Germany 20th anniversary.
They invited us on for that.
So they organised it originally, and it was at that venue in Siegburg that we played. We played 2 nights. They just had it as a Web Germany closed fan club.
We run private fan club
event.
Really
where over the two nights we played all 4 Fish albums and all the associated B-sides.
Bloody hell! Wow.
Because you know what we're like. We don't like to make it.
No, I said. I mean, last year 2 gigs in one day. You used to bloody meant it.
It's a good challenge though, because the 2 sets that we played were really, really good. I'm trying to think. The first day was it
Misplaced.
Script and Misplaced, and then the Sunday was Fugazi and Clutching, which seems like an odd matchup, but
works really well.
Weirdly worked as well. We didn't play everything in sequence. Misplaced was played in sequence, but everything else was kind of jumbled up. It's great. But it's amazing that we get to go and play in Germany and Netherlands and that. And
the strangest thing was that it was the first gigs that we never finished with garden party in Marquee Square Heroes.
Oh yeah, it was the first day. Yeah, I think it was the first day we'd ever done that.
When's that coming?
It's normally it's carved in stone, every
Is that the point where you can relax? You're getting to the end of the gig. So,
yes.
Yeah, you can see what's coming up. You go, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is that element where you kind of get to that last kind of run and you kind of go, yeah, we're okay now.
Yeah.
Of course, today we won't be ending with Garden Party and Market Heroes.
No,
we did that yesterday.
Yeah. A really interesting set looking at what you've just rehearsed. So, yeah.
That's all right, because this is not going up.
I know.
You can do the spoiler.
We'll let the cats out of the bag. It's quite all right.
You normally do rehearse up something special for Leicester, don't you? And certainly this weekend seems to be the same.
Yeah, so we talk about it.
Yeah, go on. Let's walk out.
So we always like the idea of trying to pick something that maybe hasn't been done or that we can put a twist on. So I was going through those the demos that you get on the Clutching, which is the sort of glimpse into the potential 5th Fish Era album, and a couple other bits are in there as well. And the track that became Season's End was originally a Fish Era track called Beaujolais Day, and musically it's not that far away from it. The arrangement's slightly different. Obviously, the lyrics are completely different, and the vocal melody is really different. So we kind of talked about saying that would be quite cool to play, but then we had the idea of partway through it merging it or morphing Beaujolais Day, morphing it into Season's End, so it then becomes what people know as
the segue with the guitar solo. That is brilliant.
Yeah,
really the trick.
Finding the way.
Hearing it in rehearsal.
I don't know how you sing the melody for that instead of what it is. That just
it took a while.
It fucks my head.
It took a while to get my head around it because it's such a.
People think you're probably making up the words.
I might be the stuff. But yeah, it's because you're so used to knowing what lyrics and vocals sit over the top of that. So it was a real change of mindset. I really like the demo.
You have done one of the others before, haven't you?
And Princess.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm a StillMarillion nerd as well.
We didn't have, well, the thing is, the plan was at one point we were going to try and bring that in for this weekend, but time got away from us basically today, because we actually have, there's a full kind of reworked or rewritten version of Exile on Princess Street, not the one that we played previously. The whole thing's been kind of reworked and rewritten in places to kind of change it a bit, but we just didn't have time to get it for this one. But we'll get that, and we might hold that back for a future weekend or something like that where we can do it. So yeah, we've tried to keep it kind of classic this weekend, you know.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday's gig was great, and we've already talked before started recording. You've had lots of positive feedback about it.
It's been amazing. It's been amazing. We're so lucky.
How long is it that you guys have been doing gigs around the Marillion weekend?
The first one was 2013, and that was at the Robin in Bilston.
Yes,
and that was when Marillion were in the Civic.
Yeah,
in the Civic. And that, as I say, that just came about. People were sort of messaging and saying, "There's not anything on in the afternoons. Is there any chance of you guys playing a gig?" And I was kind of like, "Okay." So I contacted Lucy and sort of said, "People have been asking, is this something that we could maybe do for them?" And sort of said, "How do you and the band feel about that? You know, would that be something?" And at that point, we'd already discussed it between us and said, if we do that, then what we'll do is any profit from the gig after the costs of putting it on, we'll donate it to a charity, and we'll let Marillion choose the charity. And Lucy was like, "Yeah, we're totally happy with that. That's good." And they nominated the charity for the first one. Help for Heroes, the first one. And that was when Steve came along and played with us, which was great. And it's just kind of became a thing. Since then, we're an unofficial part of the Marillion weekend.
Well, you're a big part for the fans. You know the number of StillMarillion shirts that we've seen around is
number
part of that. Well, that's testament to Mr. Barton and his selling skills, but the number of StillMarillion shirts we've seen is
really nice. It's a really, really nice thing to see when
it's entertaining because we go StillMarillion shirt plan. Mars the Plantation. Woo! StillMarillion t-shirt.
I will be for tonight's Marillion gig. I will be representing my Planet Mars.
Thank you very much.
Will be worn with aplomb.
Free advertising.
I'm representing Edwin's book at the Yeah, I'm representing Edwin's book.
Yeah, I've got a copy of the book at home. I haven't read it yet, but he very kindly sent me a copy of the book.
Edwin is a legend in the book. Is brilliant.
Yeah, listen, I've no doubt whatsoever I'm going to enjoy reading it. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to Marillion's set tonight. Last night's set was great. I love the Marbles material. But going by what they played on the Sunday nights at the other weekend.
By the time this goes out, Martin, it'll happen.
Yeah,
we know what's coming tonight.
If it's as it has been, then it's got quite a lot of bits from Season's End in there. Yeah. It's got some Misplaced Childhood in there as well, which will be. I love seeing them play that stuff. As much as we get to play all the time, there's nothing better than seeing those guys playing it.
And
there's a couple of songs that are going to play. Well, potentially going to play tonight, which are potentially going to reduce me to tears.
Well, that brings me back to yesterday's gig, because I did ask you about this last night at Marillion.
Yeah.
How many times must you have sung script? And you got really really emotional.
I got really choked up yesterday. Yeah. A combination of things, really. Yesterday was my father-in-law's anniversary. So I think he was in my mind, and obviously it's getting close to my dad's anniversary as well. So I think a combination of those things. It was just swirling around in my head. The end section of script's always really emotional anyway, but yesterday it just kind of got a grip of me a little bit. I don't mind, I get that this stuff makes me emotional. So and I think that comes across when we're playing it, because we're not just phoning it in.
Well, I mean, just listen to your sound check, and I'm just thinking, he's singing full voice at sound check. I mean, the guys down the road won't be doing that. No disrespect to the man. Won't.
No. It's you just got to go on with it. I can't really do it any other way. If we're rehearsing something or running through something, I have to just kind of sing it as I'm going to sing it. Yeah. So Sorry, I'm a wee bit throaty at the minute, but that's just because it was early and I had probably way too much rum and coke yesterday.
Probably.
And last night. Well, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. But I'm on the water today.
I'm
on the water today.
Are you driving tomorrow then?
We'll be sharing it between a couple of Barry will take a turn, Mark will take a turn around.
Barry's not looking like an agreement, yeah.
Well, he doesn't know he's taking.
All right, yeah.
You're
being the trooper this day.
Let's be honest, Barry, you don't even know what day it is.
No. You're being the trooper this weekend, aren't you? Because you're not feeling too good.
I'm not feeling too good, but it's just a back pain.
Oh no!
Really bad. So
it's a back pain.
Altero and
interchange.
Yeah, get used to that as an age thing. That's only good.
Everything like that.
Sure, we're recording. Please don't swear like you normally do.
Oh, he swears, but
please don't say fuck or bugger. Oh, too late.
Stuart, you're looking remarkably well. Because last night you were having a good time.
Refreshed.
Yes, that's the word. That's the phrase I was looking for. Yeah,
that's the one. Yeah, are you feeling okay?
I am felt better.
Felt better.
Yes. A little rougher in the edges. We'll get there.
I think we were all. I think it was the excitement of the first day yesterday. You know, we all kind of went at it a little bit, shall we say?
You didn't end up at Duffy's, any of you?
No. To be honest,
Big Mark almost
did he?
What was that?
Oh yeah, he was on a promise if he went to Duffy's apparently.
Whoa, hang on.
I don't know if that can get in the podcast. A young lady basically invited him along to Duffy's. I think with the offer of.
It was the Arbor t-shirt.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, let's be honest, Mark. You're quite striking anyway, but wandering around Leicester in an Aber t-shirt as well.
Really station.
Yeah. Just for attention, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. I just thought I'm intrigued to know who's going to come up with 7 foot tall man that he's wearing an Aber t-shirt. So
what? It's not. All right, okay.
Just so you know.
That's all right.
Oh, you're going out for lunch and you couldn't get in?
He sent me out to the shop called La Baguette. Get me a baguette. It's a gift shop.
You got a bag. So seriously, the shop is called La Baguette. It's not. I just assumed that it was some sort of.
You come back with some potpourri.
Yeah.
There's a candle for lunch.
I know you're hungry, but here's a candle. Smash him.
Nobody can hold a candle.
Oh, please. How was that shower? All right.
To be fair, Mark's just come in tonight. Mark was very unwell after the gig yesterday afternoon. And one of the reasons. No, you were missed last night. A lot of people asked after you, and I was just telling people that you were unwell. So after the gig, that's why I didn't make it to the photo thing. I was kind of concerned about him and wanted to get back to make sure he was all right.
Something.
Well, to be honest, when I left him to head up to the De Montfort, he wasn't looking too clever, so I kind of had him on his side and
Jesus!
bottle of water beside him. I was looking after him.
Is that what foreplay is now?
So I had him on his side. He had been, let's not over glamorise it, but you had been pretty ill and you'd been quite sick as well, so I was kind of just concerned. So came back just to check that he was all right, which he was feeling better.
Yeah,
feeling better. So that's all right. He's ready to go again.
He's got food now. Yeah, he's looking better.
He's ready to go again.
Sending out his toe bag and he's.
But yeah. So yeah.
Well, look. Thank you very much, guys. We're going to let you get your dinner, and we'll get out your hair. Have a great gig this afternoon.
Also looking forward to if there is any chance of another Keytar and Guitar battle at all.
I don't think you need to encourage him.
You talked me into it.
Anything can happen, and it probably will. So.
That's what we'll do.
No, it's great. It's fun. Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's just about having fun with it. We're not standing up there, being po-faced, as they say. But I'm aware that there's a lot of activity this weekend as well.
There is.
There's a lot of other gigs going on.
We challenged Barnsley once to go to everyone, and he's up for it at the minute. So
he's on target.
Yeah, he is. He's as we're speaking, he's at Glass Shadows. Glass Satellites. Glass Satellites. So,
yeah, they're at the Too Funky, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
Too Funky. And then after us, there's Marquee Square Heroes
at the International.
At the International, as well. So
I think
a lot of Marillion for people if they want
at the minute, are they?
Yeah, Mr.
yeah. Oh yeah, they'll be on. Yeah, they're on as well.
Well, look, have a great gig.
Thank you guys
for your time, and we'll get you back on pod whenever you fancy it.
Listen, anytime. Thanks for having us.
We can talk guitars, whatever you want.
Are you talking? Bye. That's the whole team. Thanks very much.
Cheers, guys.
Well, thanks to StillMarillion for that chat. And Craig did so well with the pronunciations of the last tour dates that he's going to give you an update on StillMarillion's dates for the rest of the year. Over to Craig.
Here we go. We have on Friday the 13th of June, Cubana Live Club in Zeeburg. And Saturday the 14th of June, DePaul in Uden. And then it gets complicated.
Germany and Netherlands.
Yes. Saturday the 16th of August. Now, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce this. It's in the venues was TBC before. It's in a place called Blackpool. Saturday the 23rd.
Sounds very exotic, that place. Sounds very
Saturday,
exotic.
23rd of August, the Cluny in Newcastle. I think it's somewhere. I think that's somewhere like out the sticks somewhere, isn't it? Saturday the 6th of September, Night Train in Bradford. Saturday 13th of September, the Oran Moor in Glasgow. Friday the 3rd of October, Yardbirds in Grimsby. Saturday the 4th of October in Wolverhampton. Saturday the 15th of November in Aberdeen, and Saturday the 23rd of November in the Half Moon in Putney. So there.
We'll be there.
So that'll be a double gig as well.
Be there or be square.
That's a double header, yes, Steve, in Putney.
Okay. Well, that's the roundup from StillMarillion World. And on Sunday lunchtime, Glass Satellites played their first gig ever at the Too Funky Cafe Bar. What's it called? The Too Funky Music?
The Too Funky Music Cafe.
There you go. Apologies for Too Funky
Lounge.
And Steve was there and Barnes was there.
It was. I was full of Witherspoon's breakfast, actually, from a bit earlier when I bumped into you two jokers.
Well, you weren't full of it. You had a scrawny little bacon sandwich, but that's okay.
And now we're not going to discuss disintegration. We'll save that for another day.
We will save disintegration. We're going to do disintegration and you're going to be on it, mate.
Oh, that brilliant. Can't wait. Can't wait.
But that's a different podcast. That isn't Planet Marzipan. So, Steve, give us a sensible review of Glass Satellites.
Well, starting with the venue, Two Music. You got me at it now.
Oh.
The Too Funky Music Cafe. So it's about
lounge.
Now, the Too Funky Music Cafe Lounge. Yeah,
correct.
A little bit of a walk, 20-minute walk or so from the Y Theatre.
£6 in an Uber.
Yeah, something like that. I think it's normally some sort of, I don't know, rap, grime, hip hoppy sort of place. So they're probably sort of a bit weird on a Sunday lunchtime doing a Marillion tribute act. But it's quite a nice venue. I thought it wasn't too crowded, so they put some nice seats out for us, which was a bit of a relief. Nice Sunday lunchtime after standing up in several gigs a day before. Rich Harding, singer, of course, he's been in. He's had his other own tribute bands before this one. Absolutely love his voice. His voice is really, really, really good. It's really spot on. He sings really well. You can tell when you listen to him that he's probably the sort of guy who does his vocal exercises every day. You know.
Yeah, very much sings, doesn't he? Very much sings every note, and he gets it pretty much nails every note, doesn't he? You know.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a proper professional singer. There's no doubt about that. Plays the piano and guitar a bit as well. And he went down really well in front of a really good audience. I thought a very respectful audience.
Yeah. So the bloke on guitar was good as well. The old Mark Knopfler lookalike.
Well, have you got? I was going to say, have you got the lineup of the band, Steve, at all?
Yeah. Lead guitar is Dave Woodward. On backing vocals. Keyboards is Rob. I can't remember. My eyesight's getting worse, isn't it? Rob Wilshire on keyboards, Greg Collingham on bass,
Yeah.
Chaz Allen on drums, Rich Harding vocals.
Okay. And I'm sorry to do this to you as well, but do you have their set list?
I do have their set list, yes.
Excellent.
Can I dive in, Steve, just before you start, if everyone's all right with that? I think as we're about to hear from Steve about the set list, they almost covered nearly every one of the H-era albums, if I'm not mistaken. They may have missed one, but by and large, it was a very, very, varied set, if you like, right across the broad church of the H-era stuff. Is that right, Steve? Did they miss any album out? I don't think they did, you know.
I think they missed one out. I can't remember which one it was, though.
All right.
But yeah, as you say, a really broad selection of material, and they purposefully tried not to play anything that the band themselves, the actual Marillion band, were going to be playing across the weekend, with the exception of one, I think it was.
Yeah.
Fantastic opening with Splintering Heart. It's always a good opener, isn't it? Even when Marillion do it as well.
Yeah.
Great opening. And straight from that into Power, which is that Power's quite a song for a tribute band to attend, I think.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of the recent stuff is because there's so many click tracks and triggers and stuff that Marillion use on their more recent material. I think for a tribute act to attempt some of that stuff is actually really quite good of them. It's quite difficult to do, I think. And they knocked them out of the park, generally speaking.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, I mean, Barnes, were you there for White Paper?
Yeah. The only one I missed was the first one. We came in during Power, so we missed Splintering Heart. There was still in the Witherspoons with John at that point.
Yeah, I mean, as I said in part one, during White Paper, with Rich's voice, you know, when he starts off, there's absolute silence in the room. You could hear a pin drop. I tell you, there's so much respect for him through that entire song. It's an amazing performance. And I saw Rich actually wrote a comment on Facebook as well that didn't go unnoticed by the band as well, just how much respect the audience gave him during White Paper.
Yeah,
stunning.
Yeah. I think also, I know you're halfway through the set list, Steve, but I think also if Marillion had played this set list on a different convention, you'd have thought, what a great set list. And I think there's something about it being so varied that makes it work quite well, actually, or very well, like.
Yeah,
no, for next year.
So just running down it from the top: Splintering Heart, Power, Stuck in the Party, Quartz, Bridge and Living with a Big Lie. Then was White Paper. Cover My Eyes, Map of the World, always a good favourite. This Town, Rake's Progress, 100 Nights Trilogy. An Accidental Man, not a song you hear played that much these days. Dryland, Season's End, After Me, all classics. Then one of the songs which the band did play, but I think Rich really loves doing it, and that's The Crow and the Nightingale. Again, a great version of it. He does that really well.
Yeah.
Into Whatever Is Wrong with You, which is, I have to say, is one of my least favourite Marillion tracks generally. I don't know why.
Really, I quite enjoyed that. I quite like that.
Yeah, he did a good job of it. It's just not one of my personal favourites. No One Can, Somewhere Else, Fantastic Place, amazing, of course. Books in You, 3 Minute Boy, and Sounds That Can't Be Made.
Wow, great set list.
No.
Great set list.
As you say, if Marillion played that set list, would be swinging for the rafters, wouldn't we? That's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it sounds like you had a great time, boys, and we were lucky enough to catch up with Rich just after the weekend for a quick chat. Okay, so we're here with Rich Harding from Glass Satellites. Welcome, Rich. Welcome back to the podcast.
Hi, good to be here.
How are you? Are you well?
Yeah, I'm excellent, thank you.
Good.
Trust that you both are too.
Yes, we are.
Not got convention lurgy then.
Not yet. Finally got a bit of sleep as well, which is handy. So we're talking to you just after the Leicester weekend, and you played, I think it was your first gig, wasn't it, with Glass Satellites over the weekend?
Although obviously 4 of us have been gigging together for some time.
Yes.
It's the first gig as the new band, and with Dave Woodward on guitar. Obviously Dave and I have been playing together for 25 years in 24 technically years in Skyline Drifters.
Yeah.
Although that's a kind of occasional project these days, and we haven't done a public gig for a very, very, very long time, but we do private parties and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And Dave also came and decked for Misplaced Neighbourhood at very short notice for the 2 gigs we did in the summer of last year.
Oh yeah,
playing all Fish era stuff in that case,
Yeah.
because Urian, the guitarist, was ill and couldn't make it over to the UK, so Dave literally did that a week's notice. So yeah, first time the five of us have gigged together.
brilliant. And that was on Sunday lunchtime at the Too Funky venue, wasn't it?
Too Funky Music Cafe, which is part of a larger venue and is a really, really nice venue. There's some pics on my Facebook. It's it's a really, really nice venue. Not played it before.
Yeah.
Can actually take quite a lot of people because it's got quite a big balcony upstairs. And they said, well, how many tickets are you going to sell? And obviously, with everything that had gone on, this was booked very, very late.
Yes.
All of the other tributes had already booked their shows. When we booked it, they said, how many tickets are you going to sell? And we said, well, it could be 200, it could be 20. In the end, it was about 75. So, though I think there were a few people who bought tickets who may possibly have not survived Saturday night quite as well as they thought they were going to. I'm not sure there were actually 75 in the audience, but they were well over 50. So it was good. It was nice. And we had everyone sat down, which I normally really, really dislike. But for a Sunday lunch, both as a punter and as a musician, but for a Sunday lunchtime, it actually worked really well. So I was quite pleased with it. The only thing that I missed was I couldn't hear the audience singing properly. So it was difficult to let the audience sing as much as I wanted to. But there we go.
A couple of our friends went and they said it was a great gig. They really enjoyed it. So we've heard lots of positives about it. What sort of stuff was in? I mean, you're primarily a H-era tribute band, aren't you?
We are very much an H-era tribute band, but that will, as with Splintering Heart, will include things that H is comfortable singing. Now, I'm not sure that's ever going to mean that I'm going to sing Script for a Jester's Tear with Glass Satellites, but certainly we'll put a couple of Fish era tracks in normally. Things like Slange, Sugar Mice, Incommunicado, that kind of thing. We'll put those in occasionally. Maybe Garden Party, but probably only a couple in a set, and maybe not do them at all sometimes. And this time, obviously, people were rather sport for choice for Fish era tributing this weekend, so we just decided to do absolutely none of it, which did give us quite a challenge because we also chose to intentionally monitor Marillion's sets from all the conventions. And once it became fairly clear, and indeed Lucy kind of confirmed it, that they were pretty much going to play roughly the same thing at all of the 2-night conventions, we said, right, well, we're just going to avoid almost everything that they play at those. So that gave us a bit of a challenge, because even for the four of us that have been playing together for a couple of years, that did mean that we had to learn quite a lot of new material, but it all worked really well, so it's good.
What could you give us a sneaky sort of preview of the stuff that you are playing at the moment?
Yeah, so I mean, we literally played. I realized afterwards. I mean, I always write the set list. I realized afterwards that we'd actually played at least one track from 12 of the 14 albums, if you count Happiness.
That's good.
It's one, and Less is More as 0.
Whoa, steady. We've got Less is More episode coming up very short.
Is that contentious? Oh dear, you have to strike that bit. But anyway, if you count Less is More as 0, we played at least one track from 12, but then we did actually play 8 tracks from Holidays in Eden.
All right, okay.
If you count the trilogy as 3 separate tracks.
Yeah.
So but yeah, so we did a large variety of things, everything from Season's End to The Crow and the Nightingale, which obviously was one of the 2 things that we played that
Marillion did
play in the sets. But the new things we did were Quartz, which was great until I threw one of my maracas at someone. But it was fine. It didn't hit Felicity anyway, so it was all well that ends well. It was a homemade maraca. I'd actually told Greg, the bass player, to bring me some Peppa Pig ones that he happened to have for his grandchildren.
Very good.
Quartz, but he thought I was joking. He obviously hasn't got to know me quite as well as he thinks so far, and So Sarah and Amanda, Greg's missus, went over to Tesco and bought the materials. So I think there were tablets in them or something to actually make some makeshift maracas
Okay.
that I could shake during courts. And literally with the last shake of the right hand one on the word stop, the top of it flew off and almost hit Felicity Pryke. And but thankfully no injuries were called. And just as I was saying I blame the manufacturers, Sarah came up and gone, "What have you done to it? Where's the rest of it gone?"
It's really strange that Felicity didn't mention that when I saw her later on Sunday.
I'm looking forward to the video of that one.
Yeah.
We did have a photographer walking around doing quite a lot of really excellent shots, DH photography, and we also videoed the whole thing, so I can't wait to see the video, of course. Anyway, I've interrupted myself as usual. The new things we played were Quartz, Somewhere Else, which people may have seen us trailing that with the megaphone, and that was good fun. Sounds That Can't Be Made, After Me. What were the other two new? Oh, and Bridge and Living with the Big Lie, which obviously Dave and I, those were actually the very first two tracks that Dave and I ever stood on stage together and played at the garden party in 2001. So it was great to do that, although obviously at that point I wasn't playing keys, and clearly I have to play through the whole of that. So that was really good, really challenging, but all of those worked exceptionally well. And yeah, we just did a selection from throughout the H era, and everyone seemed to enjoy it.
And based on what you've just said, if Marillion are back in Leicester in 2 years' time, would you guys be looking to play?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this was kind of a, we wanted to do this because, as you say, the conventions are only every couple of years. It's nice to have everyone in the same place. We do something a bit different to pretty much all of the other UK tributes. There is actually appears to be a really good Dutch tribute called Dryland,
right?
Who do something similar with the front man playing keys and guitar and everything, which is really cool. I first saw someone do that in Montreal in 2015. I think they were called Kings, and it was them playing in one of the bars, the Brutopia or something like that.
Yeah.
And then there was a Fish era tribute as well. But I was kind of mesmerized by the H era tribute and the fact that the front man was playing keys, and I'm like, okay, I want to do this. And it was later in that year I started playing keys in the All Night Chemists. And so it's been something that's been in the back of my mind for quite a while to do. And it's really enjoyable and it's a really good challenge for me. I very much enjoy doing it, and I'm pleased that people like it. So yeah, what we will probably end up doing, though, to answer your question, is I think we are minded to kind of treat it like some of the progressive rock bands that we've been in. So Rob is obviously in Connecticut. I used to front Also Eden. What we used to do with Also Eden, we used to do a couple of 3 or 4 date mini tours each year, actually, with all the gigs in a shorter space of time. Go out and do them as a mini tour, then you can kind of professionally rehearse for them, go out, do a set of gigs in a row, and then you put it back in the box and you come back to it rather than just doing a gig here and a gig there and a gig here and a gig there, which obviously to do it properly takes quite a lot of effort. We had 4 rehearsals for this one gig, although obviously we learned a lot of new material and we did have a new band member. So yeah, to do it like that fits in much better with the busy schedules that all of us have, to be fair. Dave obviously has his own Dire Straits tribute as well, Alchemy Relived, who are very, very well worth watching. Saw them in Cheltenham recently, so
Brilliant.
I'll long to see them.
Have you got any dates lined up for the rest of the year, or is that sort of a work in progress at the moment?
Not that we've got firmed up. It's a work in progress, but that's kind of the general principle. What we used to do with Also Eden is we'd do a kind of 3 or 4 dates in October, November, 3 or 4 dates in March, and that's what we're thinking of doing with this.
Yeah.
But we now have, because we learned so much new material, that we now have like 4 hours worth of material that fits the H era plus things that H will sing from the Fish era plan, which is great. So we've done a lot of prep and looking to take it forwards.
Brilliant.
It'd be good to get you out on the road, like say the October, November time. So I think people would appreciate a bit of gigging when the weather starts to turn.
Yeah, I mean that's the general idea, and then we used to do it kind of mid-spring as well, because that tends to work as well. No one really wants to go out in January and February. People haven't got any money left after Christmas. It's difficult to sell tickets, etc., etc., etc. You wait a little bit, and it starts picking up, and that always worked quite well for us. We managed to not lose money at it, and be able to pay for vans to carry us around and that kind of thing. And the odd hotel room here and there. So yeah, that worked. So I think that's what we're looking at doing.
Brilliant. Did you get to see Marillion over the weekend, or were you were busy with the band and stuff?
I didn't. I have lots of family stuff going on, so
okay.
My mum has been in hospital for the last 2 weeks. She's got extremely advanced Alzheimer's.
Right.
And I spent Thursday in a rehearsal room in Redditch, and then I spent 6 hours on Friday holding my mum's hand, stopping her pulling a cannula out so that we could get IV fluids into her. And I didn't really have much time to go to Marillion gigs, which is a shame, because I'm about 5 short of 100.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you'll get there, but I mean, obviously,
I fully intend getting there as long as they keep going long enough.
Yeah. Well, look, we wish you all the best with your mum.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
You know, I've heard nothing but good things about the gig. Craig, similar. Unfortunately, we couldn't be there because couldn't be in two places.
Well, there was rather a lot going on, wasn't there?
There was a bit, yes.
We could have done with splitting ourselves up about 4 or 5 places. Everybody wanted a piece of us at the weekend for some reason.
Oh, I don't know. Barnes made all of them.
No, he didn't. No, he intended to, but he didn't do it.
Did he not?
There's one man that did, and that's Steve Gutteridge, and he must have heard script, I think, 5 times across, or 4 times across the weekend. So, yeah, Steve deserves a medal, but we shall be talking to him.
He deserves a couple. He deserves a couple of medals, I think, for what he said.
I think so. Yes, absolutely. Fair play to him.
But Rich, it's great to speak to you. We're so pleased the gig went well for you and the guys, and we will catch up with you later on in the year if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Always good to talk to you guys.
And as soon as there's any tour dates up, we'll promote them and push them for you on the.
Thank you very much. I'll make sure that I spam as many Marillion groups as possible with them, but generally in an amusing manner, as I usually try to.
Brilliant. Great to speak to you.
All right, nice one, guys. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Thank you very much to Rich Harding for the time for the chat. Just before we move on from Glass Satellites, they haven't got any at the moment.
You got it right there, didn't you?
I have to concentrate, yeah, but this is a serious point. So, unfortunately, 4 of the guys out of Glass Satellites were in Splintering Heart, the Marillion tribute, with Dave Blake on guitar. And unfortunately, Dave has been ill for a long time with cancer, and he passed away just after Leicester Weekend. So we all want to send our regards and our condolences to Dave's wife and his family, just to say, we're really sorry about that. But it's important to mention this in this podcast. So we send our love to Dave Blake's partner and their family.
And
I did
like the rest of the guys, though, Glass Satellites don't have any gigs upcoming as of yet, since they've just got themselves together. So that'll happen a bit later down.
Yeah, they're in the planning stage at the moment. Rich did say that they possibly do a run of 3 or 4 in the autumn, but they haven't nailed it down yet.
Yeah, he does. talk about that in the interview, that they'd rather do a run of shows rather than just random things. But
Yeah.
okay, and the other band of the weekend was on the Sunday afternoon. So Steve, Craig, and myself legged it hot foot from the Y Theatre. Steve was going back to the International, but we were going to the International for the first time to see Marquee. No, we weren't.
Marquee.
No.
Come on, Keith.
You know, I've got Glass Satellites right, and I'm getting Marquee Square Heroes wrong. We went to see Marquee Square Heroes on the Sunday afternoon, and the gig started. Actually, they came on about 4:30, I think, didn't they?
Yeah, it was 4:30. I think they were expected
Yeah.
to come on earlier, weren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
Yeah, we were lucky. StillMarillion finished about 10-15 minutes earlier than we were expecting, so we were able to hot leg it across town and get there in time for the start.
Yeah. We've not seen them before, Craig, have we?
No, that was our first time.
Yeah.
I've seen them once before. They played the Tropic in Rislip about 2-3 years ago, something like that.
Yeah. And again, I think, like you said, Steve, each of the bands brings something different. I think I was really struck by the sort of attention to detail with the sound effects and the samples that they use.
Yeah.
I mean, the band were really good as well. But I was really, just those points. And also, Mark Colton's in the habit of explaining this history with the band as well as they sort of go through the set. That's certainly the way it was on the Sunday. Is that?
Yeah, he gives it the personal thing, doesn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he's clearly a big fan himself. He talked a bit about his own fandom as well.
Set list was Slange, Assassin, Script, Cinderella Search, Chelsea Monday, Incubus, Forgotten Sons. And then second half was Garden Party, Three Boats Down from the Candy, Pseudo Silk Kimono, Kaylee Lavender, Sugar Mice, The Web, Grendel, and they finished with Fugazi and Market Square Heroes.
I did have a ticket, so I apologise to them for not going. But at that point, I'd run out of steam, so I do apologise.
They've got your money, Barnes. They're all right.
Well, and as you were saying, are you coming, Barnes, or not? I'm going, no, I'm going for a chicken and chips. Well, that's another story.
It is. We were lucky enough to catch up with Mark Colton. So over to Craig and I interviewing Mark Colton.
And on this interview, after this, I don't have to read out the tour dates because I do it in the interview. Hey.
Okay, so we're joined by Mark Colton from Marquee Square Heroes. Welcome, Mark.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Hello, very good. Thanks. Yourself?
Yeah, good. Still recovering a little bit from Leicester.
Yes, I'll bet. Well, that's just what we wanted to talk to you about. So you played at the International on the Sunday, didn't you?
We did, yeah. We had a great time.
Yeah, good gig?
Yeah, really, really good gig. I mean, we were a little bit wary, despite the fact we've been doing it for a couple of years now. We've predominantly been gigging around the south. I mean, we have ventured to the scary north, and had some great nights. But we're based in the south, and most of our gigs have been in the south. But we had a really good turnout. We were on after Mr. Punch, which also gave us some concerns. We know they're good at what they do, and they're popular. And I had to shake myself at one point when I kept saying to myself, well, we're playing this one. Well, we're playing this one. And then, of course, I thought, well, yes, of course, we're going to be because of actually what we both do. So, but it went really, really well. The only slight challenge was we ended up going on a bit late, not through any of our faults, which meant we were still playing 10 minutes before the doors opened back at De Montfort.
Yeah. Because we came along and saw you what would be your first set. I think you announced from the stage you were kind of going right through, presumably because of that delay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's always a challenge. 2 gigs in the same venue for different bands, isn't it? I suppose the turnaround is probably what caused the issue, without going into any specifics. It's a knowing laugh, yeah. But yeah, you're right. It's a great weekend.
Yeah.
That's your first experience of playing?
It is, yeah. No, totally. First time we've done it. We were a little bit in two minds about doing it as well, to be honest. Not because of anything sinister. It was just, it was beginning to feel a bit mob-handed when we were seeing all the bands that were coming up. And looking at last year and or the last one, there were 4 or 5 bands, and similarly again this year. But we had
Danny approach you, or did you?
Yeah, no, Danny approached us. Yeah, I think I've got a feeling that Mr. Punch needed to go on early because they needed to get back down to Dover to get on a ferry to get back to Italy.
Right.
We did a gig for Danny last year, which went really well. But the response that we got, we were really pleased with.
Yeah.
I thought it was a healthy turnout.
Yeah, definitely.
And the reality as well is that, so following Mr. Punch, and the band is a different band now, and there will be lots of people that will want to go and it's that ironic thing, isn't it? Why do people go and see tribute bands rather than original bands? The Credo question all the time. But they then will go and see the tribute band that they're most used to going to see, and they won't try a new one. So it's all it was all feeling a bit bonkers, but it was.
I mean, I know we challenged one of our friends to do them all, and he let us down.
He failed.
I bet it was us he missed.
No, it was with you and Mr. Punch as well. I think he missed.
Yeah.
He missed Mr.
But
Punch.
another one of our friends did see all the tributes across the weekend, Steve.
That's good then.
And he loved it. You each bring something different.
Yeah, we've all. I mean, we've been getting all boring and marketing-y about it and saying, well, what is our unique? What is it that we bring to this party that perhaps some of the others don't do? And I think we've defined it. I won't explain it because it might sound like I'm an idiot. But
you can't sound like an idiot on here with us.
Yeah, you're bringing the level up at the minute, Mark. Yeah.
We've been thinking about our strategy for the next couple of years as well. I mean, the whole, as I've probably told you before, and some people will know, the whole idea was to play some pub gigs in and around Swindon. That was the whole ambition of it. And I was gonna do the Mick Pointer thing and didn't because I wasn't well enough, and I just wanted a chance to sing the songs. And once I'd done one gig, I was quite happy. And we did a couple more, and Andy Faulkner came along and saw us and joined us, and we went up a huge step when we got Andy in.
Yeah.
But then it exposed another member of the band who we replaced, and we took another huge step forward, and we did a gig in Stroud for charity, and you couldn't move. The place was, and it was a big old venue. It was them, their proper bands on there, and the PA was excellent, and we went down so well, and the charity was so delighted with it. We thought, well, maybe we've got something here. So that was when we went out and started getting some shows, but some decent shows.
Yeah.
But we're looking at how we're going to take it forward. When we started doing it, we decided we were going to do the anniversary of each album.
Yeah.
So with Misplaced, we're not playing it until the closest Saturday to its release 40 years ago. We thought we'd got the venue in Aylesbury to play that. And then they had to come back to us and said that because Fish was playing it, there'd been an agreement that there wouldn't be any other bands playing the same material. I suspect he didn't want tribute bands in there. Fair enough. So we're doing it in Swindon instead, but it's nice. There's a nice arts centre.
Yeah.
So you're still playing the water? Still playing the waterside in Aylesbury?
Yeah, we're doing the waterside. Yeah. But the date was originally going to be the closest date. Yeah. That's nearly sold out. Aylesbury. That has gone absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
Because you've got While We're Speaking now is just before you set off to 4 dates in Holland. So this will be out. This will be out by the time you've hit Holland. So how excited are you for Holland? Because it's. I would imagine it's going to be something that the Dutch are really going to be looking forward to.
The ticket sales have been astounding. Obviously, I've been out there with Credo, and Credo have always been very popular in Holland. I mean, I know it's been a long time since the last album, so I suspect that some people will be picking up on that. But the fact that it's a Fish period Marillion thing, we've had some other larger venues approach us as well to say, why didn't you come to us? But we were approached by a promoter who asked us to do it. We were a little bit skeptical, if I'm honest. The amount of times you do hear people come up and say, oh, I know this, or I'm going to do that, and then it all just falls flat.
Yeah.
But the guy's fantastic. Going to be doing some work with him with Credo as well probably next year now. Yeah, the 4 shows are. There's 2 which have gone really, really well. The slowest one is Uden, which is the first one, but that's probably because it's a Thursday night.
Right.
I also, the other bit that made me chuckle is Mick's pointers out with Arena at about the same time.
He is out there now,
yeah. He did say to Andy Faulkner at Winter's End, are you still trotting out that old Marillion shit?
He just replied, someone's got to.
Well, yeah, I mean,
because Fish ain't doing it anymore.
Yeah, well, no, totally. I mean, I said to Andy, did you tell him that we do fill in the PRS form, so we're feeding him? And he said, no, I should have thought of that. But yeah, so yeah, no, we're really looking forward to it. It's, I mean, I'm still, I'm still a little bit. I can't believe I'm singing these songs.
Well, that was it. I mean, we'd not seen you before, so we saw, as I say, the first set in Leicester. What I did, I mean, I love the music and what the band do, but I like your stories bring a different angle. You talk about seeing the band for the first time and how you got into it, and it just gives it a slightly different angle.
Yeah, I mean that sort of started accidentally. That is one of the bits that we've decided that, because I did say to the guys, particularly for the Netherlands, because we as well as being very popular in the Netherlands, Credo are incredibly popular in Poland. I don't know if you've ever seen, but we did a live DVD out there.
Yeah.
And if you ever get a chance to watch it, I go into this great story at the end of the first song, and everybody's looking at me as if to say, what are you talking about? And it suddenly dawns on me that I'm talking about, a love life of 20 years ago and using words that these Polish people have probably never heard in an accent that they'll have only ever heard on the Sweeney. So, or only Fools and Horses. So I did say to them, I can cut right back on the stories, and they were like, it surprised me about you, because they said that they really like it and it really works. I mean, some nights are better than others. I try to not say the same things every time. I mean, the bit about Goliath and being in a new wave British heavy metal band is unfortunately genuine. What we've found is a lot of the people that are following us around are now trying to find the album.
Well,
which is quite amusing.
You've got a copy, I take it.
I haven't, no.
Have you not?
No, thankfully. Mate, it's horrible. Some of the lyrical content is very, very dubious and reflects the times.
Okay. We all want a copy now, Mark.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think whether I should say it or not.
No, don't.
We did have a song to the sound, a heavy metal song to the sound of to the tune of Teddy Bear's Picnic, called the Necrophiliac's Picnic.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Classy.
And it was, if you go down in the morgue today, you're in for a big surprise, because I'll be there with my trousers down, making the corpses rise. That's the only bit, thankfully.
Okay.
That's on the Jimmy Savile tribute album.
Yeah.
I'm getting a Toy Dolls vibe from that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, we were just we were all young. I mean, it's what you did, wasn't it?
Not to be taken seriously.
No.
I know there were. I mean, and then I don't think I said it on Sunday, but the big claim to fame was our bass player, who sadly died quite recently. He was a really nice guy. His name was Graham Lemon, but he got embarrassed by his name, so he called himself Graham Lemon. And he ended up playing. He was a good lead guitarist, and he ended up playing bass in Dumpy's Rusty Nuts.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then when you suddenly think to yourself that that's your claim to fame for a band, you know, that's when you know you're in trouble.
But no, I mean, keep the stories in. I would say, you know.
Yeah.
If you get a similar look to the one you got in Poland, though, you'll know you might need to pare it back a little bit. You know?
Yeah. I mean, the Dutch are really good with they speak English better than I do, and a lot of them are really into knowing as much as they can about the history, which is nice. You know, at the time, you don't realize how lucky you are when you're going. You know, I went to see Spider, and it changed my life. You know, I bet there's not many people that say that.
I can't say that.
No. Yeah, and it was just gnawing away in my head from the moment they went off stage. Really, it was just like, you know, when you've had a beer and you think, I need a kebab. Yeah, no.
I've never had a kebab. I'm 60 and I've never had a kebab. I've never been pissed enough to think that's attractive, but that's okay.
Yeah. When John's had a drink, he generally goes for the cheesy balls.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
So you know when you fancy some cheesy balls,
yes.
You know you shouldn't. Yeah, and it always seems like, and I saw them a few times more, and then saw them a few times. I mean, I didn't follow them absolutely religiously. I mean, I was going and seeing a lot of the bands that were around at that time. My particular favourites were Liaison.
Yeah.
What
was it? There was Liaison, La Hoste,
yeah, saw them. Which was an amusing story. It didn't dawn on me. We did when the last Credo album came out. Alan Reed did his first solo gig after leaving Palace.
Yeah,
opening for us, and he had forgot Mark's surname now, but the guy Mark who plays bass in Galahad now, Mark Spencer.
Yeah.
And Mark was playing with him. And you know, when you're looking at somebody, you think, I know you from somewhere, and I know you from and he was the original singer in La Hoste.
Was he?
Yeah. Which and it suddenly struck me in the middle of we were playing in Rotherham, and it suddenly struck me in the middle of the set where I knew him from. Then there was 12th Night.
Did you sorry to interrupt, did you get Andrew Wilde's book?
Yes.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm taking it actually on the bus to read.
Well, part 2's out in July.
Yeah.
Which goes on to include, we got an interview coming up with him for the second book, but I think it goes on to include sort of, it bites and broadens the spectrum a bit.
Yeah. I got him in contact with a couple of people. Bush, the manager, the old booking manager at the Marquee, who's a big follower of Marquee Square Heroes, which is always very rewarding to see him in the audience. Although when he starts crying or he wells up, I think, Christ, he must think we're shit, but actually he's he's feeling nostalgic. Yeah, there's a couple of other people I got him in contact with. I can't remember who else now. I got Liaison, who I'm going to take the credit for getting them to reform a couple of years ago. And they will be doing some gigs with them and with Credo, probably in the new year now.
Okay. Well, when's the Credo album out?
Well, it's done.
Yeah.
We've got a logistical challenge at the moment, which was why we had to drop out of Winter's End, which is one of the guys hasn't been very well. So we're just waiting to see what that looks like. We've got a plan B as well.
Okay.
We've got a gig. We're actually playing at Danfest at the International.
Oh yeah. Is that November?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the set that we'd got ready for Winter's End, it's about 40 to 45 minutes worth of new material.
Brilliant.
So I suspect the intention will be it'll be out sometime in the early autumn.
Yeah.
The artwork's been done by the guy who does who does he do? He does Frost. And
we talked about this before, didn't we?
Yeah.
Vitamin P, isn't it?
Vitamin P. The artwork's amazing.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah. It's I was going on about F&H moments. It really
Yeah.
was an F&H moment.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see and hear it, to be honest.
Yeah. No, it's really pleased with it.
Okay. And then, so obviously you've got Holland coming up for Marquee Heroes, and then you've got throughout the year, haven't you?
I've got the dates here.
Craig's prepared some. Look at
I've
this.
prepped this is an impressive lineup. So, guys, get your notes ready just to see if anything's anywhere near you. So first off, 14th of June, we've got the Swindon Arts Centre.
That's the misplaced set the first time.
So you keep us right with the dates and stuff. Yep. 28th of June, you've got the Fuel Rock Club in Cardiff.
That was bonkers last year. It was the audience was so loud we couldn't hear ourselves playing. Honestly.
Well, fingers crossed it'll be like that this year as well. The 12th of July, you've got the Chantry Brewery Trap in Brewery Trap Tap. Can't even words out. Tap in Rotherham.
Which I'm hoping to get to. Yes.
Yeah, that was a good one last year.
19th of July, the Railway Inn in Winchester.
Yep.
26th of July, the Waterside Theatre in Aylesbury. Now that's going to be a big gig, isn't it? A big gig.
They've had to put more, or they're going to put more seats in when we play, because the original got so close to selling out. So they're adding more seats, which is nice to hear.
Right. Yeah.
Cool. After that, the 31st of July, the Cambridge Rock Festival in Ely. I like Ely. It's very pretty. There's a good fish and chip shop there. And you can all take your photos and pretend that you're on the Division Bell cover if you kind of get out in the fields. The 30th of August, you've got the Wharf in Tavistock.
Yep.
31st of August, the Mill Arts Centre in Banbury. We've been there. We saw Los Trios Morillos there, didn't we? If I remember right, John. Are you not? You not there? Was it just me and Mark and Dobby then? Was it?
Yeah.
Cool, blimey. We were at something that John wasn't. I'm sitting down.
It's the only. It's not really a tour. So I wasn't there.
Yeah, it wasn't real. It didn't happen.
But it was real. But we won't get into that.
Yeah, 31st of August. We've just done that one, Mill Centre and Banbury. 7th of September, the 1865 in Southampton.
Southampton, yeah.
The 27th of September, the Civic Centre in Berkhamsted. The 25th of October, Leo's Red Lion in Gravesend.
That was a banging night last year.
Cool. And the 29th of December, you've got a Christmassy New Year gig at Hanger Farm Arts Centre in Southampton. So they're the confirmed dates so far. Is there possibly any other ones might get slipped in between?
There are a couple of other ones. We did have the Crawford Arms, and then discovered we'd been double booked. So we're working on that. We're probably going to go back to Stroud again. And I suspect there'll be another one or two that will come out of the woodwork. Trying to get up to your part of the world, Craig, at the moment as well.
Cool.
We'll keep chipping away at it.
Brilliant. Well, look, Mark, it's great to talk to you. We love what you do.
Cheers.
And I'm looking forward to the Credo stuff as well. But thanks for speaking to us today. And
anytime.
We will see you soon.
Yeah. And good luck on the tour, mate. Good luck on the tour.
Thanks a lot.
Welcome back. We're still here with Barnes and Steve, and we've covered the bands that were at the Leicester Weekend, but in the interest of fairness, Craig is just going to give you a quick update on Cillirion's.
Yes. They didn't play the weekend, but since we're mates with them, we thought we might as well give them a shameless plug as well for their tour dates for the rest of the year that we've got. So Sunday the 22nd of June, I think it's an afternoon show, isn't it, John?
It is, yeah.
In Stoke-on-Trent at the Artisan Tap, which everybody really should go to help support the Artisan Tap, because it is our good friend and friend of the pod and contributor to the pod and friend of ours for years, Scott and his partner Jane's venue. So I hope everybody gets along to that, because it'll be an absolutely cracking afternoon. Great to support venues. Saturday the 12th of July, they're playing Landudno in the Motorsport Lounge. Saturday the 6th of September in Warsop, Black Market venue. Sunday the 21st of September, Warrington Irish Club. Saturday the 11th of October, Chichester Assembly Room. Sunday the 12th of October, Aylesbury the Railway Club. And Sunday the 9th of October, Hull O'Reilly's. And Saturday the 1st of November in Birmingham in the Barnsley Rock Club. So they're doing their Misplaced Childhood tour this year, as like I think a lot of the other ones are as well. So go see them, support them.
Yeah, that's good to hear. That's good to hear they're getting around a bit more because they've not been going very long, and generally speaking, they don't. Generally speaking, they don't stray very far from their local Liverpool area. So coming down to Chichester and Aylesbury is good news.
Yeah, yeah. Well, support these bands. Get out there and see them if you can. Well, you've sat through all of this, folks. So your reward is Mr. Wood updating you on his personal shenanigans in Leicester, which involved Duffy's Rock Club.
Yeah, well, Friday night it involved, this is just such an in-joke, but I'll say it anyway, the Briefs. So anybody who knows the Brief, or in Guy Vickers and his underpants, there's that story. I'll leave it there. Saturday night, we all went down to Duffy's Irish Bar, and it was banging. It was a rock disco extraordinaire. All the usual suspects, a large number of the usual suspects were there. There's probably about at least 40 of us hitting the little dance floor in there. I do remember the DJ not believing that we would all dance to Status Quo, which we did. And then I can't remember the set list from then on, but it was just a banging sort of night. And then what else have I got to remember?
Kebab
the last thing the Kebab Watch. Obviously, we went back to the #1 Marillion kebab shop on earth, the Grand, which is on the main street. And on this occasion, I went 4 times, breaking my previous record of 3 times.
4 kebabs.
4 times in 3 days.
Yeah, and I went twice one day. It was that good. It was the day I should have gone to Market Square Heroes, but I was so bloody hungry. I thought, I'm going for another kebab. So yeah.
Yeah, poor intestines.
Yeah, there you go. And that was that. And then we finished off on the very last night, smashing around in the Loaded Dog until it closed at 1 a.m. And that was a fully weekend, I think. That was the end of it.
Did you see the Meatloaf tribute?
Saw the Meatloaf tribute. Yeah, he was very good. Yeah, he was good. It didn't look like Meatloaf that much. It was like an uglier version of Meatloaf, I would say.
Like Malt.
And then it looked like an old bloke with a black wig on, to be fair.
He wasn't half bad though, was he? I mean,
I thought he was great.
He got the crowd going well.
Yeah, he was good. And I think that was it. I think that was my weekend.
Well, and then you went to work, which is where you've been ever since. Yeah.
Then I went straight to work. Yeah, but that's another story.
Anything you want to add, Steve? If you can add anything to that.
I can't compete with Barnes.
None of us can, mate. But but you had a great weekend as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, a bit tired after seeing all those tribute acts, but what a weekend! So much great music. You can't have too many Marillion tribute bands. You really can't. Everyone is different. Everyone brings something different to the table. It's good. Go see them all.
Yeah. Should we petition for like a Friday dinner time gig next time?
Well, there is still time. What about a breakfast gig?
Breakfast.
I'll tell you, we've not discussed the
What?
kazoos. The kazoos.
Oh, Brave on the Kazoo.
Yeah, we did Brave on a Kazoo. I forgot about that. We did it, sort of generally, not when we said we were going to do it, but we did manage to play a few bits of the song. Most people couldn't recognise what we were playing there, to be fair.
Nor could you. And you were playing it, yeah.
Basically, he just played the first 2 foghorns at the beginning of the bridge.
Yeah, that was the intro, yeah.
And the droning bit at the start of Brave, and that was brilliant, yeah.
Well, look, I think we've covered almost everything that we can for Leicester.
Yeah, the rest of the stuff would have to go past the lawyers first.
Yeah. But we just want to thank Steve Gutteridge.
You're welcome.
And he's in the dark now. He's stood in the dark somewhere. Andrew Barnsley Wood.
Thank you. Goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you to my podcast other half, Craig.
Thank you very much, young sir. I think I've got a telephone call here. It's Interpol looking for us at Barnsley Wood. He'll never take him alive, copper.
All that remains to be said is it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him.
Take care.
And stay alive. Woohoo!
Thanks for listening to Planet Marzipan Podcast. Please like and subscribe from whichever platform you get your podcasts from. You can contact us at planetmarzipanpodcast@gmail.com and check out Marillion.com, fishmusic.scot for all